Hello and welcome. Today we want to look at the subject of proportionality. And proportionality is where we have two variables and one variable is dependent on the other variable changing. So we have the dependent variable and the independent variable, normally denoted x and y. But it doesn't matter. Now, an example of a dependent variable might be, say, flow in a pipe is dependent on the pressure from the pump, something like that. Where one goes up, the other one goes up. And this is called directly proportional. i.e., when one goes up, the other one also goes up. Now, we need to look at an example. It's probably the better way to do it. And let's, for instance, say that y equals 17.5. Sorry, I'll start again. It is directly proportional. And what we're going to have is that y, in this particular case, is directly proportional, which that's the symbol for it, to the square root of x. So y is directly proportional to the square root of x. Now what we have to do now is we're going to write down two values. So we're going to say that y is 17.5 and x equals 49. Now these are the two values. What we do need to do though is, so that we can work out another value for x when y changes, what we need to do is work out a constant of proportionality for these two figures, which will be the same throughout any system that employs the pump and the flow rate. And the symbol for this, when something is directly proportional, is y equals, it now becomes an equation. This is just a statement, and this now becomes an equation. And y equals k times the square root of x. Now we have some values here. We want to try and find k, so we need to rearrange this equation to find k. And the best way to do that would be to divide both sides by the square root of x. I'm going to bring the k over here, and that is equal to y divided by the square root of x. Now we're going to give some values to it. So we need to look, we've got some values up here, as we said. So k is equal to 17 which is the y, 17.5 over the square root of 49. Now, 7 sevens are 49, so we can safely put a 7 in there. We now have 17 over that, which equals 2.5. Now, this has got no units, it's just a constant of proportionality. Now, so we find that first, and we work on it. But now what we want to do is to assume that y now changes to the number 36. And what happens to x? Y now equals 36. It doesn't matter what the units are. We do the same calculation. And what we need to do really is to say that y is proportional to this here. That doesn't change. And therefore 36, which is y, this equation here doesn't change. That statement doesn't change. This equation doesn't change, except the values have changed. So we now have a situation whereby y is now 36. And that equals the constant which we've worked out here. It's 2.5. Yes? And that is times the square root of x. As we said here, there we are. There's the 36 equals 2.5, which is a constant, times the square root of x. Now we don't know, we're trying to find out what x is. So how do we rearrange this to find out what x is? Well, if we divide if we multiply both sides by the square root of by 2.5, we should end up with the square root of x equals 36 times 2.5. Is that right? No, that's not right. 36 divided by 2.5. I said that wrong. I'll just take that out. If you can ignore that scribble. What we should be doing is dividing both sides by 2.5, which eliminates it from this side. I bring over the square root of x over here, and now have 36 over 2.5, and that equals, I'm sorry about the scribble, 14.4. Now the square root of x is 14.4. What we need to do now is to square both sides to get rid of the square root sign and look at what x actually is. And x equals, yes, 14.4 squared, and that equals 207.36. I hope that's clear. I'm sorry about the mistake here, but we all make mistakes, and I'm sure you will, but I hope this helps. Please click on like if you do like, and please make a comment and subscribe as you feel fit. Thank you.